Hey guys, Clef here. I'm super sick at the moment. I wanted to make this public announcement, not to say that you shouldn't buy the OLED G8, but there's something you need to know. So up top you see the Odyssey G8, which is a 4K 240Hz. At the bottom is the OLED G9, which is a super ultra wide 1440p vertical resolution. And to the left of it is the brand new OLED G8 2024. So it's a 4K 240Hz OLED panel. So here's the thing. When I originally bought the Odyssey G8, which is 4K, and then I bought the G9, I expected to see a drop in visual sharpness because there's a drop in resolution, and there's also a drop in PPI of about 30%. However, that's not the experience I got, and that's why I'm making this video. But first, a satisfying peel. Let's be honest, it's all our favorite parts. Right, so what you'll see next is a slide of different colors so that you can see if there's a shift. But as we're doing this, I'm gonna keep talking about my situation. When I bought the OLED G9, I expected to have, like I said, a loss in sharpness, but that's not what I got. And I don't know if that's what it is, but maybe because OLED is a self-emissive pixel technology, maybe there's less light leak between pixels. I don't know exactly what the reason is, but that 1440p looks sharper than even what my 4K panel looked like. I was a little taken aback by that, and this is what I want to address. Now that I have the OLED G8, I expected, because there's a bump in resolution and PPI of 30%, I expected to have a sharper, crisper image. And from sitting at 80 centimeters from the panel, this is not at all what I got. You can see that how close the colors are. It's very good looking panels. But yes, back to the point. They're both HDR, by the way, so I'm really cranking them all the way up that I possibly can. And it's just not the result that I got. The image is not sharper on the OLED G8, despite having a 30% uplift on resolution and PPI. That is vertical resolution, by the way. So my point is, you are going to be taxing your GPUs more to drive that panel, which that is okay, but that is a compromise that I'm sure we all understand we have to make. But what surprised me the most is I expected that the trade in or trade up would be a crisper and sharper image, and I'll have examples for you guys so that you can see, but as it turns out, it is not the case. And so that you can gauge the way that you would use these monitors, I'm sitting at 80 centimeters precisely from each monitor. And again, the OLED G9 does not look less sharp despite having a lower resolution. So when I go closer to about 40 centimeters, you start seeing a small difference, but it is not as impactful as I ever experienced with other panel technologies. What you get with an IPS when you go from 1080p to 1440p is drastic, and same with when you go from 1440p to 4K. The jump in sharpness is so drastic, but it is not what I'm experiencing here. So the reason why I feel the need to express that to anyone who wants to know is, well, there are two things. First, I paid this panel, the OLED G8 2024, I paid it approximately $15.50 tax in Canadian, because there were an introductory 30% off. But the OLED G9 was actually just about $100 more tax in, and I think that one will come back on sale at that price. And quite frankly, had I known that I was not gonna get a higher sharpness, I would have not bought the OLED G8. In fact, I might return this panel. It would have made way more sense to get another OLED G9, of course, because I can make use of that desk space, and gaming in super ultra wide is just so much fun, whenever it's supported, of course. But then also, there's the OLED G6, which is a 27-inch panel 1440p, and from a PPI perspective, it is still lower than the 4K model, but you get 360 Hz, which if you drive games to that frame rate, I feel like it will be a better difference. But even if you don't drive games at that response time, you can still drive the native resolution of your operating system, and you should still benefit in full screen windowed or borderless windowed gaming. So I figured I was gonna leave it with one last thing that the OLED G8 does have, which is pretty impressive. I wasn't expecting to like their matte finish, and it probably affects the vibrancy just a little bit, but it is such a small difference that, truth be told, I'm actually okay with that coating that they have. It's not as bad as what we used to have on matte panels, like not even close. It's actually very well balanced. You know, if I do end up returning the OLED G8 to get the OLED G6, I won't be too concerned with the fact that it's a matte panel. I'm actually okay with it, surprisingly enough, because usually I was so against it. And so that is it, guys. I hope this video was helpful for some people. You know, the way I see it, the OLED G8, the value that you get for the 4K is not worth, and it comes with diminishing return in terms of your performance. You're much better off with the OLED G6. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.